This is what it looks like when a system fails. When those in charge, the very people meant to protect the league's most valuable asset, not only come up short but allow chaos to take over, the cracks start to show. What you're seeing is the exact moment the WNBA lost its grip on Caitlin Clark. Not because of her words, but because of the league's inaction. They assumed she was just another rookie raising concerns. But they underestimated her. What she delivered wasn't a complaint, it was a calculated warning. And when she said, "I wouldn't miss a call," it wasn't just a comment, it was a direct challenge to the league's authority. That moment triggered a chain reaction, one that ended up derailing the careers of people who believed they were above consequence. I'm Jax Riley, and this is the side of the story the league would rather keep quiet. This is how a single player, backed into a corner, took matters into her own hands, not behind closed doors, but in full view of the public. Stay with me, because what I'm about to lay out isn't just a theory. It's a roadmap of how Caitlin Clark may have not only won the battle, but exposed the rot inside the system itself. To understand her response, you need to understand the betrayal that preceded it. Her reaction wasn't spontaneous, it was a reckoning sparked by a league-wide crisis. Officiating in the WNBA had become a complete mess. Fans were frustrated, players were furious. Big names like Angel Reese called it diabolical. Kelsey Plum said the calls were absurd. Coaches got fined just for speaking the truth. It was clear, the system was broken. And what did Commissioner Kathy Engelbert have to say? Her response only made things worse. No winning team complains about officiating. That wasn't just tone deaf, it was dismissive. It told players that their safety and the integrity of the sport were irrelevant. The message was loud and clear: shut up and play. Now imagine being Caitlin Clark in that environment, the breakout star responsible for a 55% jump in viewership, driving over a quarter of the league's entire business. She isn't just a player. She is the business. While sidelined with an injury, Clark didn't just rest. She watched. She analyzed. Sources say she studied officiating trends, compiling what some described as a detailed case against the league. She noticed the inconsistencies. She saw the risks. She experienced the helplessness, waiting to heal, waiting to return, not knowing what kind of game she'd come back to. That's the mindset of an athlete who feels isolated, someone realizing that the very system meant to support her is now leaving her exposed. So, she chose to take control. But she knew a quick post-game rant wouldn't do. It had to be intentional. Her choice of outlet? Brilliant. She spoke on A Touch More, hosted by Sue Bird, not just a respected former player, but a cultural icon. That show isn't just sports commentary, it's a platform with real weight among fans, media, and players. By choosing that space, Clark made sure her words wouldn't be brushed off as a rookie outburst. They came backed with credibility, stamped by a Hall of Famer, and when she finally spoke, it wasn't loud, just powerful. "I wouldn't miss a call." 6 words, strategically delivered. The impact was instant. #Clark was right trended nationwide within minutes. It was no longer about a questionable call. Now, it was about the league's most prominent star directly confronting its integrity. Behind the scenes? Turmoil. Some inside the league reportedly pushed for discipline, suggesting she be reminded to keep criticism private. But others, perhaps more aware of the optics, recognized that silencing the face of the league would be a PR nightmare. Meanwhile, referees weren't happy either. There were whispers of feeling undermined, even attacked. But quietly, some admitted she wasn't wrong. Early season stats backed her claims, showing major inconsistencies in foul calls that had long frustrated players and coaches alike. Caught between conflicting pressures, WNBA leadership made the worst decision imaginable. They stayed silent. No statement. No fine. No clarification. That silence spoke volumes, effectively confirming everything Clark had implied. It also handed her the upper hand. The league may have hoped the silence would bury the story. Instead, it fueled it. Then came the Connecticut Sun game, where silence turned into something more serious. Clark stepped onto the court, fully aware that every move was under a microscope. Everyone else knew too, players, refs, and fans alike. And then it escalated. JCS Sheldon landed a flagrant blow to Clark's face. Not subtle. Not safe. Later, Marina Mabrey shoved her with both hands, sending her to the ground, a move far beyond standard physical play. This wasn't just aggressive basketball. It felt personal and symbolic, a message shaped by the league's failure to act. And the referees? They validated Clark's criticism right then and there. After a lengthy review, Sheldon was given a mild penalty, a flagrant one. Mabry stayed in the game entirely. Crew chief Ashley Gloss later defended the decision, claiming the contact didn't merit ejection. But to everyone watching, it looked like the officials were either out of their depth or sending a message. You criticized us. Fine. Let's see how it feels when the whistles go quiet. But they overlooked something major. Clark wasn't fighting alone anymore. Her words had become a rallying cry. And when her teammate Sophie Cunningham saw Sheldon going for a layup late in the game, she made a statement of her own, dragging her to the floor. Not out of malice, but out of frustration. The officials hadn't done their job, so the players took matters into their own hands. After the game, Cunningham didn't shy away. She called it what it was, a response to a pattern of failing to protect one of the league's biggest stars. This wasn't just Clark's battle anymore. Her teammates backed her, not with tweets, but with action on the court. What began as a quote turned into a moment of reckoning. Officials weren't undone by a comment. They exposed themselves through their own choices, broadcast for everyone to see. They chose ego over responsibility, and now their reputations are tied to a game that slipped through their fingers. So where are we now? Clark played her hand. And she won. Her message sparked a crisis the league couldn't contain. Their non-response only validated her stance and elevated her voice. But this isn't over. Now, theories are flying, and they are starting to sound less like speculation, more like pattern recognition. Is Clark being targeted by opposing teams, physically worn down, because they know the league won't intervene? Legal experts have pointed out one stat that's impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark alone has absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA this season. That's not incidental. That's a red flag. That's not just welcome to the pros physicality. That's a pattern. And patterns point to deeper problems. Clark's 6-word statement didn't just expose a few bad calls. It pulled back the curtain on a league grappling with credibility, consistency, and protection of its stars. She may have sparked this fire, but it's burning bigger than her now. Other players are watching. And if they start using her blueprint, the league's hold on control may crumble faster than anyone expected. We are watching a real-time shift, not just in basketball, but in power dynamics. Clark lit the fuse. The league is still trying to figure out where the explosion came from.